Hello, I am joined by Danney Paul from Rock Island Prison, a really impactful short film that I'm really excited to dig into with you. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, very nice to be here.
Yeah, so I got to chat with your co-star Omiede, but I feel like you're going to have a very different perspective on this film and the process, as your character was definitely on their own journey in the spectrum of this film. So before we start diving into the film, I'd love to kind of get to know a little bit more about you, how you've come to this work, and maybe your journey up until this point.
Sure, sure. What do you want to know?
What is your background in acting? What brought you to acting?
I'm a theater kid originally.
Okay.
Yeah, I got started with acting when I was really young. I mean, I've always been a movie consumer, like very hyper consumer of all that good stuff. And in high school, I jumped into theater and became an actor and followed in through it into college. And then came out to Los Angeles. Not really so much to be an actor, but so much to just kind of get out and see the world. I'd only lived in Texas my whole life, and it's you know not exactly I mean, it's more of a one-dimensional world in Texas. I mean, and it's different now, but by moving away, you could really get that expanse and see the world and see the different flavors and the different colors in life.
And how's LA treating you?
I'm still here.
That's good. How long's
I've
it
been here
been?
for a while. I came out in 2010, moved back for a couple of years, and then came back in March of 2020, actually.
Great timing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Well, if you're still there, that's a pretty good sign. That's
yeah.
lovely.
I love it. I mean, I mean, I wouldn't say that I love it, but you do love it. I mean, and you stay here for, over 10 years, you do love it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and you gotta
And
love it to keep the dream alive, essentially.
there is a beauty of this place, and it is a beautiful place in a lot of ways. So, yeah, I'm sticking around for a while.
So, in terms of this project, how did this project come into your life?
Uh, so I'd actually taken a hiatus from acting for a while, and I jumped back in last year. I had some, fortunately, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I was able to get back into the craft. And I had been working and getting jobs, and so this one came to me through an online audition. And Joy really liked what I did, or liked what she saw with how I approached the character, and it really it was good. It was during a time where I was just getting going,
Hmm.
getting more roles and more stuff and more things to do. So uh, with this one, I just decided to really sink my teeth into it and just go for it. And so it was a really great experience to have the collaboration that she was able to offer with the project. It was a wonderful project. It was a breath of fresh air that day when we filmed it, when we did the short.
I can imagine. And when you first got the script, okay, it's a complicated set of circumstances. Um,
Right.
it was a time where people like truly believed others were property. Now they're
Right.
freed and they're working alongside previous owners. They always say to not judge your characters, but I'm assuming it's a little bit daunting to take on somewhat of an antagonistic role. So, what was it like stepping into this type of role? What did you have to do to get this character to come to life for you?
Well, it wasn't really out of the ordinary in general because I've always been in the past. I've always been typecast as the bad guy, and so
Huh.
that was always somewhat of an easy role to fill. But specifically about this one, uh, it was easy to kind of just fall into a place of frustration and pain and anger.
Mhm.
Not really so much, an evil person, which of course the character is, but the history and the facts are so rich. I'm a huge history buff, and I actually had no idea about this story. I didn't know about Rock Island Prison until the short, and I loved it. I thought it was so cool and so perfect to have this situation where a person can own people and then go to war and then somehow find him on the other side as his slave or his prisoner and his captive.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it's rich. It's so rich, and there's so much to do there, and there's so many levels of just depth and range, and so yeah, all of that consider or combined with the fact that it's just a wonderful period piece that
Yeah.
really attracted me to it. So it wasn't hard to go into that world, put yourself in that head, and you know, the thing that you see on screen ultimately is really wonderful and really
Yeah.
poetic to see
Mhm.
that and to see the dynamic switch, because at the end of the day, you know, all of these people, whether they were, you know, people fighting in war or, you know, owning another person, it does create another level of huge intimate relationship,
Yeah.
really
Very much
really deep
so.
stuff. And so it was, there was a lot to grab from and a lot to do and work with.
Yeah. In terms of that intimacy, I feel like it's got to be, well, it is very important to have that trust and care among the actors on set. So, how did you all cultivate that trust? How did you get there?
It was a really professional set. It was a really professional environment, and Amiete was just fantastic. We had never met, and we had never we didn't know each other at all,
Mm.
and we just when the camera was rolling, we fit right into it, and he did exactly what he had to do, and I did exactly what I had to do, and it was whenever you do have an actor who, you know, really brings it forward and can do what they need to do, it's so rewarding. And so I was really lucky. I was really happy to have him on set that day, and not just him, but everybody, including the crew. They really the space that was provided and the task at hand, and everybody. I mean, you know, the subject matter is not comedic. It's not lighthearted. It's heavy
Light.
stuff,
Yeah.
and and all that considered, it was great. It was very professional, really good.
Yeah, it really did seem like all the elements were very focused and motivated towards the end goal of the
Mm-hmm.
project. And I think that that really read through it. What was your experience like filming it? Were there any surprises when you're on
Well, Uh, the surprises were minimal, which is nice on a set.
set?
But I was really impressed with the location and the scope of everybody involved. I like I said, no one had known or met anybody before. At least I hadn't
Hmm.
met any of the actors and any of the crew, and so I was surprised and taken aback of the professionalism and the well way it was put together that day.
Yeah. And in terms of the conversations in putting this piece together, because clearly everyone's on the same page and the same vision, what were some of those conversations had about the intention behind the work or what you were all trying to do with this piece?
Well, it's you know, it's deep water material, and it's not, you know, it's serious subject matter, and it's not like you go and, you know, you're laughing at what the end product is and you're having a good time watching it
Yeah.
at the end, you know, at the premiere when it happens. But again, it's such a great story, and it's an important story, and it's one that I wasn't familiar with, and I consider myself, you know, a decent history buff, but when you've got that collaborative effort and everybody knows what we're doing and everybody knows, you know, the end result of how we need to get there, and then we get there, it's the best. It's just wonderful,
What
you
was your
know.
reaction when you finally saw it?
I was very impressed. I
Yeah.
was grateful and happy that it all came around, and ultimately at the end of the short, it's a happy ending in a
Yeah.
way, you know.
Hmm.
And it's not easy to pull off a hard story with hard, you know, subject matter like that, and then at the end of the movie you're glad or you're happy
Yeah.
despite this world that we are in, you know.
Yeah. What's been have family and friends seen the film or just what's been the
No, I've
yeah.
we, we went to the premiere and I saw it with a friend, and that was it, and no one else has seen anything.
Oh, then they got to get seeing it. Come on, they're going to hear
Yeah,
this. be inspired? Are they not seeing it? What's been like general reactions from the public now that it's kind of having a life outside, hitting the festival circuit and such?
That's another really wonderful part about and wonderful layer about this whole thing is that the reaction has been really nice and really receptive and positive. We've already won some awards and uh, done some festivals, and people have really been impressed with it also. And so it's good to have that, you know, community reaction. It's like, yeah, you're
Yeah,
not the only one impressed with it. Everybody else is too. And that's like, oh, okay, well, it seems that
look at us
it's
go.
turning head.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of the with Wild Sound, we see a ton of films, but this was one that really stuck out to me. I said, great premise. Everybody's on the same page. They're playing the same game. And yeah, just really well crafted storytelling. And tone is so important because you don't want
Mm,
to go overwrought because then we get lost in the pathos and forget what the message is.
totally.
So I just, yeah, I was pretty blown away. So I can imagine you're having a good run in the world. So I'm sure that there's going to be much more on the horizon for this one.
I
And
hope so.
in terms of what's on the horizon for you, what's next in your acting journey? Any projects you're excited about or things that you want to do?
Yeah, we've got a premiere this month. A short that I was in. This director that I'm collaborating with. This is the second project that was able to work with him on, but it's premiering at the Grauman, and so that's gonna happen at the end of June. It's a little horror short called "Be Nice," and also Joy. She's mentioned doing things in the future that she might want to be
That's awesome.
available to collaborate on. And she's a wonderful writer, director, producer, and creator. And that really, I think that that's a huge thing to be pointed out too, is
Mm,
what Joy did and how much effort she put into it and just carried it all herself. She wrote the thing, she directed, and she was just,
yeah.
she was the auteur that day. And I really appreciated that. And that was another, uh, layer of the whole experience that I was just very proud and uh, inspired to be a part of.
Yeah,
It was a lot on her.
that's awesome. Well, it's always good when you know that you can trust somebody and trust
Totally.
their work and that the fact that she can wear that many hats and wear them well,
Oh
that's
yeah.
a good person to keep in your life to keep as a collaborator because it's a small world ultimately. So
Yep.
I want to work with good people, especially on those long 12, 13, 14-hour days.
Uh huh.
Make sure that, yeah, we trust each other and we like each other ultimately. I think that's always good. Well,
That's
that's
what it's all about. We're building relationships and experiences here.
yeah, very much so. Well, I'm excited to hopefully see some future projects for you and
Me
maybe
too.
chat about some of those as well. But thank you so much for joining me today. And if anybody listening slash watching hasn't seen Rock Island Prison, what are you doing with your time? Go and watch it. You won't regret it. And then you can become a little bit more of a history buff yourself. So thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much, Hannah. I appreciate it.